Okay, everybody, we're back with episode 3648 of the show. We're going to answer about 5 of our community's questions today, just like we do every single weekend. And we've been doing now for at least 9 years, maybe 10 years. And always excited to see what the community writes in with. I don't do any prep ahead of time. This is honestly my humble opportunity to reach out, see what's going on in the community, and just simply trying to do my best to move us all forward. That's the thing. Learn a little bit more each and every week, use it, tweak our protocols just a little bit, hopefully get a little bit better. That's really what it's all about. All right, so let's dive right into it. Will is up first. Will says, "Hi, Dr. Cabral. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to ask you questions. I've learned so much from other people's questions." Thank you, Will. Appreciate you writing in. I have one of my own. One, regarding your own past podcast on the importance of broccoli and garlic. I travel a lot for work. When I travel, I can't get broccoli or garlic. Would it be okay to take a broccoli and garlic supplement? I recently purchased the EcoLife mushroom supplement. This is question number 2. Do you recommend taking it year-round or just the winter? Thank you so much. Okay, so let's answer the first one first. Good broccoli supplement is called sulforaphane or broccoli extract. Broccoli extract is going to be the sulforaphane, but sometimes there's just different names. So it's a great thing to take. So much so that I actually included in the daily nutritional support. So if you bring your daily nutritional support with you, it will have the broccoli extract in there. I do recommend, of course, eating cooked broccoli. So I eat cooked broccoli at least once a day, at least 1 cup. So I'm a big advocate, of course, of the whole food itself. And then I'm a big advocate of the extract, which it would take, like pounds of broccoli in order to eat it to get that extract. And we know it's so good for natural detoxification. All right, garlic. It's another great one. So yes, you can, garlic's easy to travel with, right? So literally it has its own little carrying case. So you can take garlic with you if you want. Simply crush a clove, let it sit out for 5 minutes, swallow it down with a glass of water if that's how you want to do it. But you can also take garlic extract. One garlic extract that I like to use with my clients with high cholesterol and or high blood pressure is called Kyolic aged garlic. Kyolic is the brand, and you'll see right on it, aged garlic. They make one for the immune system, and just added onto it. They make one for high blood pressure. They make one for cardiovascular. So great product. 104, I think, is for cardiovascular. I forget the blood pressure. It's in like an orange writing, and then there's one for immunity. But you just need to get about 500 to 1,000 milligrams, I believe, of the aged garlic extract. All right. Hopefully that's helpful. The second one, do you recommend taking the EcoLife Daily Mushroom Immune Extract on a daily basis year-round? Well, if you're someone that deals with viral-based issues or immune-based issues, then the answer is yes. If you're someone just looking to get a boost during the winter to help with all the colds and flus and travel and all that, then you would just take it for about the 6 months of winter from before the holidays. So let's call it like end of October or Halloween-ish time through the spring. We'll call that March, right? So those 6 months. And if you're, again, dealing with like CMV, Epstein-Barr virus, autoimmune issues, etc., then I recommend taking it year-round. All right, so hopefully that was helpful. Carol's up next. Carol says, "Hi, Dr. Cabral. I'd like to start by thanking you for all the information you freely give. I've listened to your podcast almost since it started, and I've been able to make positive changes in my life and my family's." Thank you, Carol. Appreciate your support. "I'm a healthy, active 62-year-old woman. I walk 5 to 10 miles most days. I do strength training 3 to 5 times a week, plus cardio a couple days a week. Through diet and exercise, I've been able to maintain my weight most of my adult life. If my weight started to go up, I would make adjustments in diet. Since 2017, I've done your detox at least 3 times a year. Good for you. And usually helped me lose a few pounds. I gained back when not being on top of my eating. For the last few years, however, my weight's been creeping up higher, and nothing, not even the detox, helped me to lose the weight. I tried everything I could think of, but my weight continues to go up instead of down. I went through menopause about 10 years ago. I'm at a loss for what to do, but I definitely don't want to continue to gain weight. Do you have suggestions?" Yes. So every single Wednesday on my show, it is called the Wellness and Weight Loss Wednesday Show. And the reason it's called that, even from the very beginning, and thank you, Carol, for being here for the beginning about 10 years ago, is that it's all about getting your body back into balance, becoming well, and then the weight will be lost naturally. For you at 62, most likely you're seeing a decline in hormones, and you probably already saw that, as you said, about 10 years ago or so. You might need to use something like DHEA to keep the muscle on the body and make sure you're strength training 3 times a week. Because if you're losing muscle, you're losing metabolic activity. And over time, it just creeps in. The problem is, if you're starting to just be able to burn 50 calories, 100 calories less per day, meaning like your body's not as metabolically active, it adds up over time, right? And it could be 3 to 5 pounds a year. So let's take that into consideration. So definitely weight training 2 to 3 times a week and getting your cardio in. If you're not exercising, it says here you do 3 to 5 times a week plus cardio. Okay, so let's just make sure that you're not burning off that muscle either, that there's good recovery from the strength training. And also that you're getting good sleep overnight as well. Let's make sure your blood sugar continues to be balanced. I don't know that. But also even just last Wednesday, I literally did a show called this, like, you can still do everything right, and I put right in air quotes, right, and still not lose weight. Here's why. And it goes over inflammation. It goes over high levels of stress and it goes over 5 main things. So I want you to check out that show, Carol. If you still have questions, write into cabralsupportgroup.com or write back in with specifics here. And then without a doubt, if you haven't run your Big 5 labs or at least your stress, mood, and metabolism test, I would start there. And all these, again, are at stephencabral.com/shop. You can just literally search anything in the search box, all right? And then just ask us, cabralsupportgroup.com. We'll find it for you, no problem. Mohammed's up next. Good morning to you, Dr. Cabral, and all the listeners. Grateful for all you do. Grateful for you, Mohammed. Appreciate you. My question is regarding a sort of pinch-like feeling on my left side near my heart. On and off randomly, did blood work and EKG normal, ran the minerals and metals on the higher side for potassium and sodium. Magnesium is good and calcium leans towards high. Okay, so we got a high calcium, magnesium normal, high sodium, potassium. Okay, so higher levels of stress it shows. Could leaky gut be related to the occasional, or is it cortisol? Yeah, I mean, so I'm really glad that you ran. You should. Again, if you feel a pinch and a pain around your heart, go to your doctor, like without a doubt. Get an EKG run, just like Mohammed did. Run your blood work. Look what's going on. If everything's normal, okay, let's now, either way, we want it to be normal, and then either way, we need to look under the surface. So it very well could be stress. I mean, you have high 3 out of 4 of your electrolytes, and magnesium actually should be high if the other 3 are high, because that's supposed to calm your central nervous system down. So you very well may need more magnesium, but I don't want to just say that alone. So you ran that, which is great. You can run the stress, mood, and metabolism test to look at your cortisol levels during the day. But, again, this could be higher levels of stress if you've been stressed over the last couple of months, not just overnight, but over the last few months. Without a doubt, that could be it. So the omega, you said you're taking omega-3 support, DNS, magnesium, exercising twice a week, 27-year-old man, noticing new onset fatigue, bloating, a bit worried about my heart, thanks. Okay, so if there is bloating and gas, then you should run at least the Candida metabolic and vitamins test, without a doubt. What can help? Proteolytic enzymes, apple cider vinegar before meals, or B vitamins, thoughts. Okay, so yeah, it could be something as simple as indigestion, right, or gas that can absolutely cause that same pain. That is absolutely true. Based on your minerals and metals test, we know that you at least need a little bit more magnesium to bring down those high stress neurotransmitters. So that's probably like 1 magnesium at lunch and 2 full spectrum magnesium at dinner. That's most likely going to be a good starting point. You probably want to do 1 adrenal soothe at lunch and 2 at dinner, at least 2 adrenal soothe at dinner to really calm those stress levels at dinner. Now, if you're having sleep-based issues, you'll look into sleep help support and other products like that, all right? But also work on your breath work, of course. Like, I'm just talking about short-term supplements will change your life, and they'll allow you to then let the lifestyle take over that I talk about in the Rain Barrel Effect, right? My first book. Apple cider vinegar can be great for digestion. So 1 tablespoon in lukewarm water, just room temperature water during a meal can be great. Proteolytic enzymes, I don't know that there's fibrin overgrowth or anything like that, especially at 27. It's certainly probably not going to hurt, but you might not want to make your investment in the proteolytic enzymes right there. Again, not a bad thing unless you're dealing with a lot of inflammation and issues like that. More so, I recommend that to my clients in their later 30s, at least early 40s and beyond. All right, hopefully that was helpful. And of course, we're here to help. All right. Cheryl's up next. Morning, my 73-year-old dad has type 2 diabetes. He is otherwise in good health, an active golfer, is about 65 pounds, and walks daily. My parents are old school and believe everything the doctor says. I totally get it. Recently, his doctor just upped his metformin to 2 times a day and 1 time and put him on 1 pill for his hemoglobin A1C level. All right, so upped his metformin. Got it. Okay. I'm annoyed that the meds are just increased instead of looking at the root cause. They recently saw a dietitian who said it was not reversible, which I know is not true at all. My mom cooks healthy, but my dad does have a sweet tooth. He wants something sweet. it is often sugar-free, which is terrible, full of chemicals. I don't agree with all the sugar-free. And I try to get them other things with monk fruit, coconut sugar, but the dietitian recommends the Splenda type stuff. Would love to help my dad reverse this. Any suggestion where to start? Okay, so yes, first of all, type 2 diabetes is absolutely reversible, like absolutely reversible. So the problem is that most registered dietitians are medical-based. So they learn the medical-based system of nutrition, which is like, oh, everything is just like so simple and black and white. Like that's how they operate. Like Splenda's okay because it's not going to spike your blood sugar. No, that's actually not true, right? Like it's horrible for your digestive system. It has a chlorine-based molecule in there. It's not ideal, right? So it's like, no, these things are not good. But there are registered dietitians who study as an integrative health practitioner, right? They do other things and they can be excellent. So it really just depends on your practitioner, truthfully, right? So it's like, how much does your dad want to do? Like that's the real thing. A lot of men I've worked with in my practice, they got a lot of value out of running labs because when they see the data, they say, okay, I'm going to act on the data. Now, again, many women that I've worked with, and yet 70% of my practice is women, like the labs as well. So it's not just about men and women, but I have found that people who just say, I only want to listen to my doctor, I only want to do this, like show them something medical related, right? Like a lab test. So that's why I'm saying that. And then, what do we need to do? Well, we need to start from the top, right? Like really have them read the rain barrel effect or implement it. We're going to start with a 7, 14, or 21 day detox. They're not going to do the fasting days if they've never done one before and they're 73 years old. So we just start with the shake, plant-based lunch, shake, and then we're going to do the paleo style dinner at night. And then we're going to do that ideally for 21 days. And then we're going to keep the shake in. We're going to add the omega-3s as long as they're not on a blood thinner. We're going to add in the vitamin D3. Okay, it's just 3 supplements. That's it, right? And the smoothie a day. Then we're going to start to add things like potentially daily glucose support or berberine plus. Like we're going to do things to help naturally bring down the blood sugar. All right. So yeah, hopefully that was helpful and a good place to start. But remember, when someone's never done any of this, kind of have to start from the basics, start from the beginning and begin to then kind of sneak in the healthy diet, right? That's what the detox says. It teaches you how to eat. And it's easier then to transition to a healthier diet after the 3 weeks of doing it. And you don't even need to do the fasting days if someone's over 70. In our practice, someone's over 70, we don't do the fasting days. All right, let's get to one more question, right? One more question. Again, my team does such a great job putting all these together. If you have a question, write in at stephencabral.com/askcabral. Why not, right? You just write in, get your question answered. We're always happy to help. That's the truth. Elizabeth's up next. Hi, Dr. Cabral. Thank you for the amazing work you do. My 80-year-old mother has been experiencing consistent burning mouth syndrome for the past 12 years. She has tried all the conventional methods, gabapentin, CT scan, etc. Nothing's helped. I recently read that a drop in estrogen during menopause could be the cause. What do you think? And any recommendations? Thanks again. Okay, so stephencabral.com/podcasts. Whenever you have a question, there are, what's today's episode? So there are 3,648 episodes now done. And most likely your topic's been covered. You can always write in, but check it out, stephencabral.com/podcasts. I did a show on burning mouth before, and I'm not always able to look it up, but I'm going to look it up right now. So stephencabral.com/podcast, just type in burning mouth. That's literally it. I probably don't have too many shows on that. There it is. Episode 3197. 3197, done just about 2 years ago because this came up a lot during the, post-pandemic, etc. And on that show, I go over 15 reasons, all the reasons why someone may have burning mouth. And yes, a drop in estrogen is one of those. However, the drop in estrogen for your mom, she's 80 years old, that most likely happened 25 to 30 years ago. So I'm not sure that that's the exact reason. So what I would do is I would actually look at those 15 different answers. Again, it's all detailed. It's probably a 15-minute show. And what I would say is this: if you want to find your mom's underlying root cause, you run the big 5. You look at the inflammatory levels, you look at potential toxins, you look at potential gut health issues, you look at mineral deficiencies. So all of that is going to be the way to go, but I'm going to let you decide what works best for you. That episode again is 3197. If anybody can't find a show, feel free to write in at Stephen Cabral, actually at cabralsupportgroup.com. You'll get clear answers, usually the same day. All right, everybody, I'll be back tomorrow with a brand new Cabral House Call then. Take care.